Ever wondered which processes, which procedures, the A to Z of seeking scholarships, the nature of scholarships, and how to apply for them? Well, today we get started on the journey in this episode of Education Plus Plus. Our episode today wants to tackle the subject understanding scholarship dynamics. If you are a student out there, irrespective of where you are across the globe, and you are interested in applying for a scholarship in any country, this episode might be of value to you. I want to welcome you to Education Plus Plus, where we empower you with the knowledge and tools to navigate your educational journey. My name is Dr. Fred Kasidie. I'm your host today, and I am excited to dive into this very incredible and important topic that can change the course of your academic and entire education career. But before we get started, I encourage you to share this podcast with your friends, family, and everyone who might benefit from this information. It's important that when we get such vital information, we spread the word and help more people unlock their potential. But let's get started by appreciating what scholarships are. What exactly are scholarships? These are financial awards that help students pay for their education. However, we need to understand one thing that unlike loans, which are normally repaid back, there is many student loans across the globe, scholarships are not repaid. This makes them a fantastic opportunity for students looking to ease their financial burden of tuition and other education expenses. The one thing that we need to appreciate is that scholarships are tailor-made to different scenario, demands, and interests. And therefore, there are various scholarships available. The four most significant ones are merit-based scholarships, need-based scholarships, field-specific, and demographic scholarships. These we are going to delve deeper into in the next part of the discussion that we have today on this podcast. So, I want to believe that you, through this introduction, can now understand what a scholarship is and make the difference between a scholarship and a student loan. Remember, for a student loan, you'll have to repay it after your education, but for a scholarship, it's one opportunity that you obtain and you do not have to repay it. So it's quite a blessing to have if you can actually get it. We encourage in this field of education, we encourage as many people to pursue or apply for scholarships if they have the necessary qualifications. I will then delve into the different types of scholarships. As earlier mentioned, there are four key types of scholarships. Let's talk about the merit-based scholarships area classified. Now, these are normally awarded to students based on their academic achievements or talents or even skills. For example, if you excel in sports, music, or academics, you may qualify for a merit-based scholarship. What stands out here is the fact that an individual applying for this scholarship obtains it on merit, normally from an area where they have a talent, a skill, or even excellence in academics. So that category speaks to individuals who are exceptionally talented and would want to pursue higher education, but some factors might be limiting them. However, this opens a window for them to navigate this direction. Secondly, let's look at the need based scholarships. These are scholarships that are awarded based on the financial need of the student. To qualify, you typically need to provide a financial documentation to demonstrate that you are in need. If you claim that you are unable to support your education and there is a facility identified from a source X or Y, you will have to furnish that particular scholarship board with all evidence to show that you are unable to pursue this program. Could be because of your family background, could be because of the location in where you are, or could be because of economic conditions in your country. So any documentation that clearly shows you need financial aid should be furnished to this scholarship board such that the board makes a decision based on the grounds that you offer it. So that is a need-based scholarship. And I want to think that you make the difference between the need-based scholarship and the merit-based scholarship earlier discussed. Let's move to the third category, which is the field-specific scholarship. Now, if you are pursuing a degree, for instance, in a specific field such as STEM, which is very prominent in modern time, or arts, or healthcare, or gender, any field, name it, climate change. There is many fields that come up in modern time, could be new areas of research, interest, and could be those that are speaking to global interests or local interests in different places. Some of these resonate with individuals in the public, and therefore organizations make calls so that they provide funding to encourage students in these fields. As an applicant trying to look out for a scholarship, it's important to align that scholarship to your field because while you are interested in the scholarship, the party on the other side is interested in growing expertise in that field, and therefore it would do either of you a disservice if one is not honest about their end goal or intentions. So that speaks to the field based or field specific scholarships. Lastly, for our consideration is the demographic scholarships. Now, these scholarships are aimed at specific groups. Normally, these are minorities. In some cases, they're women, for the simple reason that historically women have been excluded from, for instance, education. So, empowerment programs often look out to support women. And then also, there are certain circumstances where there's need to grow first generation college students. What these nature of scholarships do, they aim at promoting diversity and inclusion in higher education. So this is more of a very clear direction that if you are interested in being a party to empowering women, or you are a first generation category student or a member of a minority group, such scholarships tend to favor you, and it is important that you consider applying for them. To quickly look through what we have so far shared together is one, we tried to understand what scholarships are and shared our understanding of those particular offers against what is normally referred to as student loans. Then we have tried to digest the different types of scholarships, which we have discussed as merit-based, need-based, field-specific, and demographic scholarships. So let us move into another part of this podcast, which tries to establish how we can find scholarships. This can be quite a cumbersome journey, depending on where you are, the availability of this information, and how exposed you are. But nonetheless, this can be a starting point. By listening to this podcast, having established what scholarships are and the different types of scholarships there are, I would advise that you start on this journey. One, by looking at online scholarship databases. Now, websites like FirstWeb, scholarship.com, and Capet allow you to search for scholarships based on your profile and interests. Take keen interest in these particular websites. There is many other websites, so these I only gave as examples. If you have internet connectivity, this should be your opportunity to identify with scholarship databases and identify how best you can tap into these available opportunities. The ball is on your court. Secondly, you might want to pursue education in a particular university or might be part of some particular university already pursuing your degree or your higher education. In this case, many universities, actually most, have a dedicated scholarship page with information on available scholarships. This could be internal or external, and they often benefit incoming as well as current students. Universities are awake to the fact that students oftentimes need financial aid to successfully pursue their academic dreams. And so, looking out for these university websites is a window for a student out there that might want to pursue a scholarship. Take keen interest in these websites and try as much as possible to interact with them and see if you actually fit within the brackets. The third option would be looking out for local organizations in your community or in your country. These should not be overlooked. Specifically, local businesses, community foundations, or even civic organizations. Normally, they will call out for applicants. That is the normal procedure. But also, there's been students or applicants that have interested entities to sponsor them, and therefore they have earned themselves scholarships through that direction. Whichever way it is, take the first step, identify an organization, could be a local business, like earlier stated, could be a civic organization, or even a community foundation, and see if that organization can fit within your interests and as to whether they too offer scholarships. Thirdly, even when you work with these local organizations, take very keen interest in aligning your personal desires and interests with theirs. So do not overlook that because it affects you in one way or the other along the journey. The fourth source that you want to pursue in this particular podcast is social media. Now, social media is very prominent these days, but how you use your social media eventually dictates the results you get out of there. I would advise that if you are an interested student, interested in establishing a scholarship out there, use your social media handles to follow educational institutions and scholarship organizations on their handles. This helps you identify from time and again the different opportunities that come up, and these you might harness as and when there is a chance. But also, to make this work better, it's important that you network with peers and educators, could be your professors or even your colleagues at the university. These can help you lead to discovering less known scholarship opportunities that you probably had not known about. This is because of the wide nature of the social media space, the Internet of Things, and the information overload. With our different concentration points, we cannot know everything. So it's important that when we build the important networks around us, these networks can help us lead us to desired goals. So I would encourage you to have a vibrant network to direct you towards your personal interest with regards to scholarships. Okay, with that said, I would like to handle a part around the application process, which is also critically important. The application process takes an individual through the requirements of the scholarship and the nitty-gritty of the attachments to validate that application. I advise that you read the requirements and take keen interest, establish how eligible you are. Keep every scholarship opportunity as a unique entity. Do not make generic applications. I also recommend that you gather the required documents. Normally, the documents that are required include academic transcripts, letters of recommendation, and personal statements or essays. I also recommend that you write a compelling personal statement. Now, this is your chance to showcase your personality, your achievements, and aspirations. In this case, I recommend that you are authentic, you express why you deserve the scholarship and why you are the best candidate. This personal statement speaks a lot about why the board should consider you, and everything that you write there should speak to that goal. I also recommend that you follow all instructions, especially the application guidelines, including deadlines and formatting. Pay attention to all detail with regards to the guidelines given to you for every particular scholarship. And finally, I recommend that you proofread your submission. Before submitting, carefully proofread your application and make sure that it is free from all mistakes. After applying, you're now ready to make your submission But I always encourage that students should be very keen about certain aspects. While we have talked about the application process in detail, I want to raise these flags, which are normally the common mistakes and which I encourage people to avoid. One, I re echo, missing deadlines. Now, that is very, very unfortunate if it happens. Making generic applications. These do not speak to any interest with regards to the scholarship board, and therefore your application will be simply not given sufficient attention, and then neglecting to ask for help. With a network in your hands, right from sourcing a scholarship, use the network to enable you identify with the best ways to make your application. Seek help from your teachers, from your professors, from your mentors, from your friends, your peers who have been there before, such that you make an application that you will be very proud for having made in any given point in time. In conclusion, scholarships can significantly ease the financial burden of education and open doors and opportunities for many, because this has happened for many people and it can happen for you too. But by understanding the types of scholarships available, knowing where to find them, following the application process diligently, you can increase your chances of securing funding for your education, which I believe you can. Remember, persistence is key. Don't get discouraged if you face challenges along the way. Just keep applying. If yesterday a better candidate moved before you, maybe tomorrow you will be the better candidate. Just keep applying, keep learning, and definitely keep growing. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to Education Plus Plus for more insights and tips on navigating your educational journey. You will receive regular alerts when we upload new contents. Thank you for listening, and let us know in the comment section of any topic you would like us to share about in our future episodes. Best of luck with your scholarship applications. From your host, Fred Kasirye. Until next time, stay curious, keep striving, and make it work. Thank you, and stay fine.